Hey, how's everyone doing? It's the welcome to the Nobody Podcast. I'm the Nobody, John Kellogg here with you. It has been a cold week this week in Southern California, specifically the LA area. I woke up with ice on my windshield the other day, which maybe those of you listening in places that get snow and ice regularly, that's a normal thing, right? No big deal. But to those of us in Southern California, that is incredibly disconcerting. Right? Right, if you came here on your own, um, or if like us, I was born here, my family. We right, our forefathers, or if you came here yourself, we those people that we came here to escape the snow and ice. Right? In Southern California, you go to the snow or the ice; it doesn't come to you. So it's disconcerting when it's waiting for you. Like your front lawn is a little frozen and there's ice on the windshield. That is, yeah, it just goes against the culture here. If we want snow or ice, we go to Big Bear, Mount Baldy. If you're here in the LA area, if you're looking to be a little more adventurous, you head up to maybe Mount Whitney or the Sierras. Great snow and ice up there. That's like Mammoth. But so it's one of those mornings here. But I am excited because I spent earlier in the week. I got caught up on the Doc Antle Tiger King, the end of the Tiger King saga. Like everyone else in 2020, I was just like totally enthralled and totally just blown away by that whole story. Like full disclosure, Tiger King is like that's my trash TV. That's my Housewives TV. That's my that's my thing. Like that's the thing that like cuz it has everything that I love. Like right, like as far as animals go, I like animals, right? Who doesn't? But like tigers, wolves, and orcas, those are the shit. Like I see those creatures, man, I get like I'm in that awe, right? So, and then the other thing I love are like not love, but I like guns. And then especially guns with white trash people involved. That is like I don't know what it is. Maybe because I'm white and like my family roots are from the South and white trash is sort of you know, like I grew up with people around me when I was younger here in Downey that were like kind of white trash, so they're decent people, but like I guess because like it's always been so close to home in a way that it's like not exactly because my family is in no way like that, but you see people around you, you're like, oh wow, like it's just a different breed of white people, right? So it's like similar but different to us. So like you combination like the combination of those three things, dude. Oof, that's like it's hard for me. So shout out to my friend B. Last weekend, he sent me a text about like it was like an advertisement or something for the Doc Antle little piece on Netflix, and I was like, what? I don't go on Netflix every night. Probably it's like once every maybe 2 3 times a week, probably. Um, maybe a little more, but anyway, it's not something I check regularly, especially like on the weekends when I have my kids. And so I put them to bed, right? And I watched all 3 episodes in one night. I was falling asleep during the third one, but anyway. So the one thing I think helps explain why it's so popular is because, um, as you all know, white people we have the market cornered on crazy, just like black people have the NBA on lockdown. We have the types of crazy on lockdown, and because like all the different like we have like so with Joe, like he wears his crazy on his sleeve. Like he's so crazy, Joe Exotic, that you just can't like he can't. I don't want to say he can't help it, but he just can't keep it in. Like the filter, just it can't take it. Like he's just a miserable person if he filters as much of the crazy that needs to get filtered, and so he just wears it on his sleeve. I think we like that. For me, it's like disarming. It's like, oh, this guy isn't that type of crazy. Like he's not gonna harm me. this dude just like needs affirmation or love or just something happened in his past that he's he's trying to get, kind of like the Michael Jackson kind of crazy, where you're just like, you kind of not, you kind of feel bad for him because you kind of get the suspicion that some shit happened back in the day, but you can't, the guy is entertaining as fuck, right? And so that Carol Baskin, she's like that type of crazy where like she's trying to hide it, but she can't. Like, it's like a cup that's spilling over. Like, you're just like, it's not just pouring over, the faucet's not running full, but like, it's more than a, definitely more than a drip. It's like a steady trickle, and you can just see the crazy just kind of coming over the edges, and you can see it just running down the sides. And it's not enough that she is self-aware of it, but it's enough that you're like, oh, like like you kind of want to watch for when I guess, realizes that she's butt fucking crazy. But what makes, I think, the Doc Antle story so interesting is that he is more than one type of crazy. And that's what makes him so dangerous. Is that he's like, he has a level of awareness of it, not that of his crazy, but that makes it calculating. Like, it's not like there is a control to it. They, it's sort of like, I have this belief that um you should never tame your demon, you should just keep it on a leash. That I really feel that if you have, let's say some anger issues, that maybe you should just learn some Muay Thai and find a place to for it to go, so that if something happens, you can protect yourself, or you can protect those around you, or protect those that need protecting. Because the truth is that we, in order to sort of be able to look out for each other and care for each other, there does need to be people who are able to handle the situations. You do need people who are the sharp end of the sword or the pointed end of the spear kind of situation. But anyway, so of all the different types of crazy, like you have the pet people or the animal people crazy, like the Carol Baskins, Joe Exotics, the like PETA people, throwing blood on people's coats, or what are the Animal Liberation Army or Front, or I can't remember what, but the people who like go through and destroy like labs that are testing on animals. You have that type of crazy. People who see a rattlesnake and just want to touch it. Um, and then you have like the godly crazy, the churchgoers who are like just totally devout, the priests who give their life to it, the people who um like are shaking and quote filled with the Holy Ghost and like throwing themselves around. You have that. You have the cult crazy, which is like um that Osho guy, Rajneeshi guy from Wild Wild Country, where he's like the leader of a cult, or these sex cult guys, or the Jonesville type people. um and you have like your crazy political stuff, like well, I would say Hillary Clinton. Like, she like seems to be so power thirsty that it is like it's very difficult to understand, except that it seems a little maniacal and crazy. And so you have all these different types of, it's like serial killers, right? People who like lock people, like kidnap them and lock them in their shed or in their basement for 20 years, have love children, or not, like love rape kids with them, and like all this stuff that is just insane. But Doc Antle is like, he is like both types. He is like the cult type of crazy and the animal type of crazy. Like, he was drawn to the cult type of crazy, and then realized that he could be this polygamist, exotic zoo guy if he got like, animals like these exotic cats to like pick up on chicks, and sort of have this polygamy, like fulfill his other type of crazy. And he knows how not to appear crazy. Like, he knows which stone, like which, yeah, stones to step on in the river of crazy, so that he doesn't get get too wet. Now we can see it, because we are normal people and we understand that, like, to be animal crazy and cult crazy, like, is like a whole different level. But he is able to navigate it, so he's not like in much legal trouble. He knows like to call himself a conservationist and um like have that alternative spiritual lifestyle thing that sort of shields people from being abusive in the situations what they clearly are. It's a calculating type of crazy, and so it's fascinating to watch, right? Because it's just you can't believe, right, that these people, um, like that they exist, that these people, and maybe they are characters, like maybe Joe Exotic isn't crazy, and I'm not cynical enough that like this is a character, just like there's a stand-up comedian, right? He's not the comedian when he goes home. That So I like there's probably that too, for sure. But it's fascinating to watch. It's way more fun than, you know, talking to some chick on Tinder, that's fucking for sure. So and the things I've learned in these last 2 years at Tiger King, um, it's like it's been blowing my it doesn't blow my mind, but it's crazy how in this whole thing there are like in these Tiger King things, right, which is like these weird white trash, like in some cases like debilitated both like physically and mentally people, and despite it there are hot chicks everywhere. And what's crazy is that there is no like I could imagine, right, that like there is no better pickup line for a woman than would you like to pet my tiger. Like it has to work because around, right, where you would least likely expect hot women, which you have like these meth head toothless looking white trash dudes missing limbs and stuff, but yet or these shady fucking little dudes with Napoleon complexes, that there would be hot women everywhere. And it's wild, especially with like the Doc Antle thing, because he's not that creepy. Well, he is creepy, weird, crazy, but it's not as maniacal, like, or as over. Maybe it's more maniacal, but it's not as like eccentric as the other people. It's crazy, man. That the key to pussy is big cat pussies. Like that's crazy that would work. The other day I had my grandma over, and my son is sort of like he really likes and is really infatuated by like naughty words, bad words. So he's at that age where hell and damn it are bad words. And so my grandma was telling him the older Bill Cosby joke. Um, oh my God, what's that special? The name of his special? Oh, I can't believe I've forgotten it. The one where the background, the colors are they change, and he's in wearing the brown suit. Oh, okay, I think it's himself. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's called himself. But anyway, it's probably his most recognized, famous, right, special. It's fucking hilarious. But so my grandma is telling him the Cosby joke about him and his brother. I can't remember his name either. I want to say like Walt or Will or something, but I can't remember. Anyway, about how they would get in so much trouble. His dad, when they were little, that they thought, that his dad would be like, God, or damn it, quit doing that. Jesus Christ, would you stop? Damn it, it's raining outside. Get in here. And he goes, but Dad, I'm Jesus Christ. That joke, right? So my grandma tells my son this joke, right? He laughs, he thinks it's great because well, we show him I shouldn't say that. She tells him the joke, we show him the video. And My son's sitting there laughing. And then after she starts telling him that, oh, Bill Cosby, but he did these really bad things. And my son asks, like, well, what? And she's like, well, I can't explain it to you. This kind of stuff. You're too young for it. And so I didn't say anything then, but it made me wonder. And I was talking about with a friend later that, like, why? Like, I get why she mentioned it, but like, as a society, like, why do we need to sort of mention the good with the bad? Like, why for his successes are his sins also mentioned? Like, why can't he just be one of the all-time great comedians? Like, undoubtedly. Like, why does the rape stuff have to come up into it too? I'm not saying it doesn't deserve conversation, but are we so inept at nuance now that we can't compartmentalize that Bill Cosby is, without any question, a legendary, infamous comedian who had a un probably an immeasurable influence on comedy, especially clean comedy, which is I don't. It's probably harder to do. It's certainly less done, and so for him, he is clean comics. He's out there with like Seinfeld. Like this dude's legendary. Y- There's also that other side that is completely unrelated. Um, that was a lot because he's so legendary that enabled him to be a rapist, no doubt. But why? Like, I just don't get it. It wasn't like I was disappointed, but it was just this thing like the other half of it is you don't mention it because since you can't talk about it, now it's going to draw a curiosity to it. To something like rape, which I don't want my 8-year-old son curious about. And I don't want him to every time look at Bill Cosby or hear a Cosby joke and think there's something forbidden about this man not related to his comedy that is intriguing. I don't want him to be intrigued by a rapist. I would rather him be ignorant to it until he's at that age where, you get the sex talk and you say, hey, look, this is the other side of sex, is that there is a violent side of it that, there's a lot of danger involved. And so the, I, I almost I'm almost hesitant to blame the need to sort of like showcase your righteousness as the reason for it, but I can't think of any other reason why you would feel the need to include someone's sins with their successes. Like it still happens with like Robert Downey Jr., Russell Brand, Charlie Sheen, right? These people who either are still wild or like in the case of Russell Brand and Robert Downey Jr. have not been in any way associated with the things that they were previously famous for, like with drug abuse and other things like that, other personal things that have like long been since resolved. But these ghosts of the past, almost these sins, they are still brought up with their successes. Like, why? What is it with our need now to showcase our self righteousness? Why? In a time where we are on the verge, and I think this maybe will help, on the verge of legalizing some psychedelics, um, why is the ego like it's amazing how it drives everything, whether it's male or female. It's amazing how the need to be wanted or accepted by others, it is so powerful that it blinds us from being able to see that essentially that we are, you know, basically as shallow as, you know, I don't want to say it's a perpetrator because that's not true, but you're so shallow that, you know, you don't even recognize it. And it's that need to feed the ego. And it, you know, that reminds me of this great Bob Marley line. Like one of the things I love about Bob Marley, not only is the music dope as fuck, but is because it speaks truth to the soul. It speaks truth to the nature of your being. And one of his great lines is, "Every need has an ego to feed," and it's, you know, it speaks to that sense um of need for validation, for attention, for attachment that we all have to just different varying degrees. So recently, so I got this last topic is like I want to say it's like a personal dilemma, but it's a dilemma that I suspect that um, is certainly not unique to me, especially in times like this where, you know, you have the great resignation and people are quitting jobs or reassessing their professional life and their professional direction, um, more than ever. And that is no doubt subsidized the um, by the, you know, federal government handing out unemployment and stuff, and just making it sort of halfway incentivizing this movement. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but that was certainly been a factor in it. So in doing so, maybe I think it's more relevant than than I would assume. Because look, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not someone who, I do the podcast because um, I want to go a different direction. It's not, there is no part of me that thinks what I have to say is great or is going to change your life in any way or anything. Like I have, like, my reason is I want to kind of go a different direction with my career. I like doing it. It's something that is like kind of fun in a way, as weird as it is, just sitting here talking to nobody. I mean, I guess you can count my dog. He's just fucking sleeping. That's how engaged he is. You know, probably like the rest of you, right? You probably guys are probably watching this going to sleep. It's so fucking dull, but um, it's like I do it something 'cause I enjoy doing it. I'm not gonna lie. I've had people tell me you'd be great at it. You should do it. I know these first episodes are gonna be terrible because I have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm good at adapting and learning on the fly. But at the beginning, like, I'm not gonna pretend like I know what the hell I'm doing and I'm good at this. But in this area, some I think it probably extends out to a lot of you. You guys probably understand, like, it's like a professional thing for me. Is some years ago, I was ready to leave my current employment. I work for the government. I just do clerical work. It's no big deal. And so I was just miserable in that work environment. The work environment is it's based on, rather than competency, it's based on compliance and complacency. You're not rewarded for merit. You're rewarded for um, sort of just sort of existing and going with the thing, not trying to do too much. You just kind of like, you just know your place. You just kind of be a good soldier. That's sort of how you move ahead in government. So I hated it. I was miserable personally. I was getting ready to leave, even though I had like 15 years in. Um, and I was gonna go do electrician work. And I sort of had this like epiphany that part of the reason why I was unhappy is because I just was not genuine. I was switching between masks I was wearing and um, sort of in a way was smothered. I'm also someone who is personally dissatisfied with disingenuity, you know, being disingenuous, and so I sort of had this dissatisfaction with myself for sort of becoming what I really sort of don't like, and I don't want to say hate, but becoming something that I have no respect for. So I didn't love myself or care for myself or have much self-respect. So fast forward to now, after a few years of being kind of more true to who I am, a lot more direct, even at work, right? It has not been favorable because um that does not bode well in government work. And maybe it's unrelated, but I feel it is that I'm at a place where there's like 75, 80% women. And so the direct approach is not always appreciated. Another another great line by Bob Marley, right? I don't want to sit here quote his lines, but one of my other favorite things, like sayings that I keep in my mind so that I, to help myself be a better person and, just be true to myself is the truth is an offense, but not a sin. And so in my line of work, that has not helped me with promotability because it's not that I rub people the wrong way, but it's that the by doing things sort of against the grain of the typical county way, let's say, um, it bothers some people. They don't like that that different approach. It's troublesome. And so I recently I was told by an interviewer, like this is the second one now, and this lady told me that she could tell that I was um sort of kind of scripted, that I was uncomfortable, and she wanted to know like why. And I just kind of said, I'll be honest, I was kind of disingenuous. I don't really believe any of that stuff I said. Um, the reason why I'm really going for the job is I just want to make more money. Like this was after the interview. She called me back to tell me she was, gonna look for someone else, but that she thought I was very capable, a very good candidate, but something about my being disingenuous sort of made her uncomfortable and doubt. So she kind of called me for like a secondary, not interview, but I think just to sort of explore like what was like on the fence that had her go, well, this would be a good candidate, but right, I just don't something about him. It's just doesn't fit, right? And I think this is also true in like dating, for example, that and it's true for men and women both. So I don't want you to think I'm just saying women, but that people we're essentially trying to put the pieces of the puzzle that we see that the person gives us, we're trying to put them together to get a pretty, a vague image. There's still lots of pieces missing, but to sort of get a vague idea of what the picture really is. And so she definitely caught on to that. And it's be simply because I haven't um I haven't been disingenuous. I've been way more kind of wearing who I am with no mask on. So when I put the mask on, that there was a clear sense of discomfort in the last few years, right, which to me personally makes me feel good because the thing that I set out personally for myself to accomplish to be happier was to not be fake. So I feel good in that regard of that. But at the same time, it's I have this sort of dilemma of what do I do or what do you do when you aren't what you need to be to get ahead professionally? Like I don't need like it's not helping me being this. What do I do to go to get ahead? And to be honest, that's a big reason why I want to do why I'm doing podcasting because I don't know. Like, look, I'm assuming that what I need to do to get ahead in podcasting is by being me. That's probably not gonna work out, right? Because I mean, I shouldn't say probably not, but it's just not as likely because um because I how do I say it? It's just it's not gonna because I'm not like such this great wise being that something is going to change it. It's just like maybe I'm entertaining to some people. Maybe what I say someone can relate to. They can get a laugh out of it. It can sort of change their mindset or change their perception, and give them a different sort of point of view. It has like so to me, um like my dilemma is, do I do I continue with government work? Like, do I continue going in this direction, trying to make a little more, just so I can do better for my family, give myself and my kids a little more comfort, be able to afford just a little bit better lifestyle? I don't, nothing extravagant or anything, just, work a little harder to have a little more, or work a little smarter to do a little better. So, we can, I could be a better person and a better father, and it would make me. I'm not gonna lie, it'd make me feel more accomplished to be a better provider. So it's the thing is like I'm sitting here going, well, um, the county work isn't gonna make me a better person for sure. It's not serving my best interest, and it's certainly not making me a better person. This podcasting thing, maybe it will help someone else. Maybe it will have some service, some value to other people. And so at some point, because I can't bullshit or I'm not good at it. I'm obviously, I don't maybe go on enough interviews to bullshit or get good at it, to put that mask back on. But I mean, they're obviously catching me. They obviously know, and so the question is, do I abandon this path of trying to get ahead at government work, because I'm not good at all at being what I feel like I need to be to get ahead? Or do I wait it out and sort of hope for an opportunity in which, if I am genuine and just say, I just want to make more money and do better for my family, I'm not going to bullshit you or give you this cookie cutter answer, and if that doesn't work for you and you would prefer the cookie cutter answer, then I'm probably not the right candidate for you right from the beginning of the interview. Like, maybe I should just be myself and then, quote, hope that it works out. But then again, I'm not one person who believes that you just sit back and, just sort of hope the universe falls in your favor. For me personally, it's you sort of, you seize the moment. There's an opportunity in front of you, you go for it. And so maybe one way to look at it is by me being genuine and just being straightforward in a way that might might shock them or might make them, maybe they'll appreciate it. But to me, it sort of seems like I'm kind of throwing up this Hail Mary in this system that's not appreciated at all. It's and it's probably it has yet to really helpfully and be of help or service to me. Um, the only service it's been is it has helped me avoid useless bullshit. It is for the most part helped shield me from petty drama, just the typical, because we have too much time in government. People find petty stuff to be crappy about. That it's helped me avoid that, but it has not helped me get ahead. And so I'm stuck between this, like, say, a fork in the road on my path ahead is, do do I continue down the path of this county work thing where I try to be what I know is proven to be successful and helpful? Or do I diverge from the path and do I be authentic, still on this county path, but off to the side on a narrower path, and continue to hope that in that authenticity, someone appreciates it to the point where it will put me in a position to benefit me in that to me, and this is just my own bias, but in that extremely unlikely event. Or third, do I just not even try anymore and continue things like this, continue trying to do stand up and get some open mic time or get some content out to a club or something where someone can say, hey, you know what, man, I'm gonna give this guy like a shot. So essentially, do I carve out a new path? Do I take this, let's say, the leftmost path ahead of me, which is not real quite a path, and do I say, well, let me get the machete out and let me just fucking carve through and just make a new path? So that's sort of where I am. Like, I'm definitely leaning towards doing the hard work that I have no idea where it's going to go, and sort of carve a new path through the unknown jungle. Um, but then the other part of me is like, you take the higher percentage thing and just stay the course, stay with what's known, what's familiar, what, and maybe you'll get an opportunity that in the outside chance fulfills both. It allows you to be what's been working for you and be yourself and be authentic and be um generally just happier about it, or continue to try to fake it, and eventually maybe I'll pull the wool over someone's eyes and get myself in an opportunity where I sort of can benefit it from. So we'll see what happens, remains to be seen. But everyone, I want to thank you guys for listening to the fourth episode of the Nobody podcast. Um, Leave any of your comments, your critiques, whatever you thoughts you had down in the comments below. I definitely like to look at them. It's interesting. And take care of yourselves. Have a good week. For those of you in the cold areas here now, we're nearing on mid-December. Like, stay warm. For those of us in Southern California, let's hope this ice and snow passes. And it's not even winter yet. Like, it's not the 21st yet. So, like, we're not even there. So, we might have to buckle down. I keep in mind, I've been telling myself here that shiver induces thermogenesis, which helps burn calories. So, I'm not totally against the cold, but I do fucking hate leaving my coffee on the counter for like 15 minutes with a little lid on even, and coming back and it being kind of cold, because that fucking countertop has got to be like 50 degrees, 55 degrees. It chills my shit out. So, anyway, guys, have a good one. Take care of yourselves. Have a Merry Christmas, all that. Happy holidays. If you're into the Kwanzaa, Hanukkah. Am I missing anything? Is there any other birth? Because this is like the time of year where the sun god's birthdays come out. Jesus. I bet you there's some Horus for those of you guys who do the Egyptology stuff. Um, and I know it. You know what? I know that Egyptology is totally wrong. This is the longest fucking sign out of a podcast ever, isn't it? Dude, I don't know when to shut the fuck up. But anyway, I know that Egyptology is like the study of ancient Egypt, but I don't fucking have enough sense to know what the ancient Egyptian religion is. I know it's a lot like Christianity. So I'm sure Horus's birthday is sometime around this year. Krishna, probably happy birthday. You're another one of those sun gods. I don't know, is Apollo? Is that the way it works? What was the Mercury? Isn't that the other one? Right? Isn't that like the Roman name for it? Anyway, all this, the longest sign off ever, to say, have a happy holidays and a Merry Christmas. And maybe I'll do another one before now, you know. So, anyway, guys, take care of yourselves and peace.